Welcome to BSportsAnalysis podcast, where I have not daily, guests whenever I get the chance to do this podcast. Today I have special guest Owen. Say hello, Owen.
What's up? How's it going?
So yeah, today we're just going to talk briefly. I guess I don't know how long it's going to be about college football, all the stuff, Heisman talk, basketball, and some head coach hirings, some head coach firings, and NFL
Can't
stuff
wait.
like that. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
So,
can't wait.
Owen, let me pull up the games from this weekend so I can talk about all the college football madness that has happened.
There's been a lot.
The Clemson game, which was wild. The all that stuff.
Yeah.
So let's first start out with the Tulane Cincinnati game. This game didn't really have any playoff implications, but it did have the that division. I think it's like the AAC or something weird. You're going robot on me, Owen. Yeah, you're going robot. I think you're good now. Yeah, you're good now. Okay.
Okay.
See, Tulane, Cincinnati. It was a pretty. I call it the tail end of this game because the UNC NC State game was on this network. A pretty interesting end of the game. The last play was a Cincinnati throw that was an absolute dime by the quarterback. It got nicked by a Tulane defender, and the Cincinnati wide receiver lost control of the ball as it came into his hand. So that's how the game ended, and Tulane won 27-24. Wild game. And then
It was a pretty eventful game. I mean, it wasn't like an important game though.
yeah, I mean for the conference champ that game
Yeah.
who went to the conference championship. That's about all it did for that. But if you're not an avid fan of those teams, it really doesn't matter. Cincinnati, I think you lost a lot of talent to the NFL. So they had a large drop off from last year. I didn't even realize they were still ranked, which is kind of wild. And let's talk about the Baylor Texas game. Texas absolutely blows out Baylor to keep. I don't know if they're in the Big Ten championship yet or whatever.
I don't think they are yet because Kansas State
has to lose. Yeah, pretty crazy game. I didn't get to watch it, but yeah. And then
it was kind of a shocking game. I thought Baylor would have held their own a little bit better than what they did. Quinn Ewers is like one of the best quarterbacks. He's one of the most fun quarterbacks to watch in college football. He's able to make plays against any defense, like you saw in the Alabama game. He just play after play after play.
Yeah, I really don't pay attention to the Big Ten much at all, but yeah, I did watch that TCU Baylor game, and it was last week, and that was pretty wild. Then let's go on to the low point of my weekend, the NC State UNC loss. NC State comes out with a 30-27 field goal in double overtime. The defense played okay, not great, but okay, which is the best you can hope for the 166th worst defense in the entire college football. So I'm not happy with this game. Rivalry game, you hate to lose them, but game losing kick was a absolute. It's weird because like our kicker is a very odd. The way he kicks field goals is very odd. Like he helicopters them. It's weird the way he kicks them. So I couldn't tell if it was a block or just a whiff in general. So
wasn't a quarterback play for you guys not that great that game?
It was not great. Drake May had, I mean, the fourth quarter he turned on because he seems to do that in the clutch. But yeah, he turned on in the fourth quarter, but he was non-existent the rest of the game. Neither was Josh Downs. The moment the Heisman talks was happening, which was after the Wake Forest game, it was just like, what on earth are you doing, Drake May?
Yeah.
We needed him to play better. He did not. That's back-to-back losses now. Not what you want to see out of him at all. But yeah.
It's not looking good.
They had their third quarterback. He's a redshirt freshman.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
And
so maybe in a couple of years.
Oh yeah, he'll be great. NC State played their third string quarterback. That is our kryptonite, is a third string and fourth string quarterback. Georgia Tech also lost their third and fourth string quarterback. But yeah, not what you want to see. And then UCLA, California, that was also yesterday. I caught the beginning of that game before going to watch the UNC basketball game. UCLA won 35-28. Did you end up watching that game, Owen? Because I did not get a chance to watch that game.
I had a chance to watch the game. No, I didn't get a chance.
All right.
There was, so many good games.
Yeah. The Florida State game. I did not get a chance to watch this game, but I was keeping up with it.
I did watch a little bit. I saw Florida State won, right? I saw
45-38. Anyways, Florida State was pretty freaking. Their quarterback is probably the most underrated quarterback in college football. He's phenomenal. He played phenomenal against UNC every single time he's played us, and we've lost to Florida State every single time we've played them in the last 5 years. But the last 3 were against him, and he played amazing. So yeah, I've always thought of him as pretty good, but he's just now getting the attention that he deserves. Yeah, wild game.
Yeah. Florida put up a fight too. They've had a really up and down season.
They really have. It's very similar to South Carolina in the way that they've hit all the highs and all the lows. Of course, theirs was reversed. Florida hit all the highs early and all the lows late. Yep. Yeah, but let's go to I wouldn't say it's the most shocking, but one of the most shocking games: Michigan, Ohio State, which was today. Started at noon, ended around 3:30. 45-23 Michigan. To say unexpected would be an understatement.
Yeah. Without Blake Corn or I can't pronounce his last name, but without their starting running back. He played, but it was very little amount of snaps, and the guy that his backup came in, and he carried that offense. It was all around great play, but most impressive by the offense. Michigan. That offense can take it down.
I watched the Clemson game, but I was also watching the highlights of that game. It was a very great passing attack by Michigan, and Ohio State made a couple boneheaded mistakes that ended the game.
Halftime it seemed like it was going to be a overtime game. Yeah, JJ McCarthy played amazing. I think that's their quarterback's name.
That's
McCarthy, yeah. Played a great game all around.
Yeah. Let's now go to the South Carolina Clemson game, and this one is the most shocking game of the weekend. Yeah. I watched this game. My heart was pulling for South Carolina because I love upsets, but I know that we have to play Clemson in the ACC championship game, and I do not want a mad Clemson. I don't want that. But you never want Dabo mad. Yeah. So this was a weird game. Did you get a chance to watch that?
I did. It was heartbreaking. Clemson had it all the way up until when there's a play where DJ threw it, but he pump faked and it slipped out of his hands.
Yeah, I saw that.
And right after that, South Carolina they were gonna get momentum. Hats off to Spencer Rattler. Coming out there in Clemson at Clemson with a whole crowd playing against they are probably a little overrated, but playing against that good of a defense, coming into that new offense, he played a great game, a very controlled, paced game.
He had those 2 boneheaded interceptions where you're like, I did not see the first one. I tuned into the game late. I did not see the first one, but I saw the second one, and I was like,
it was a pick six.
First one was a pick six. Second one was a goal line interception that was really huge. Yeah, that the play that got them down on the goal line was a genius call. I was like, why do they have 3 running backs? They ran out of it was some sort of some sort of I form, more like T form, because they had 3 guys, and then it was like a play action to the guy on the right, and the guy on the left ran a real wheel route to the 50 and got the ball and got down to the 3.
The play calling in that game was also very good. South Carolina, like their coach, their whole entire coaching
Yeah,
staff
yeah.
actually
Their
quoted.
entire coach. Yeah, that was wild. And I mean, I'm smiling because I'm so glad Clemson lost. I'm sorry, but like that it was awesome to watch happen. And watching South Carolina I mean, Clemson tried to beat them at their own game. If you don't know what South Carolina's game is, it's special teams. Because
Yep.
holy crap. They came in, and the first like real play that I saw was that first little play where I think it was Shipley who handed it off to one guy on the punt, and then he went around and lost the ball.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Puckett.
Phil Moffa.
That's
Yes,
it.
Phil
Yeah.
Moffa.
He lost it on that play, and I was like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was lost on that one too. I was like, oh my gosh, this game is gonna be
Well,
great. Like, I was
Clemson tried to be too flashy. Like they had a bunch
definitely.
of things. Yeah.
Yeah, I
A
agree with
bunch
you
of
on that one
things.
for sure.
DJ
Weird
has
because I mean DJ
really
hasn't
gone
been
off.
playing. I mean, he's not great, but he ain't playing awful. Like
Well, yeah, but at
he's
one point you have to think that, you have like other options at quarterback. It's not just DJ
yeah.
that's
I think
there. Cade Klubnik could really, I think, maybe challenge DJ a little bit more if Dabo were to put him in that starting spot for even 1 week. I mean, it's something that Dabo I think should look into is starting Cade and saying to DJ, like this is it. This kid's gonna start or be this week. If you don't prove it, then prove it's yours. Then you're out of here.
I think it's funny because it's like I don't think it matters who's the quarterback for the ACC championship game because it doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna kill us no matter what.
I
So
don't know. I've been very I love Clemson and I really wanted them to win today, but I was just watching them play. They do not deserve to play for a national championship. They did not play good enough. They weren't physical enough. They weren't
yeah,
they weren't there like they were.
it's also something weird is Dabo's had phenomenal quarterback play the last 8-ish years. He's had
Yeah,
Sean
I feel
Watson, that
Trevor Lawrence,
Trevor Lawrence, and there was some other guy before Deshaun Watson. I can't remember his name, but
Kelly
like
Bryant,
that's it. Yeah,
Kelly Bryant. Yeah.
they were all phenomenal, and it made me so jealous. But that game, I mean, yeah, that's another thing. It's like Dabo isn't used to having to bench his starting quarterback. I think that's
Yeah,
what
like average. He's had
he's had greatness
greatness for
10 years. He's not used to having average for
yeah.
yeah. Coastal Carolina got mollywopped by James Madison.
Oh wow. Yeah,
Yeah, it
that's
was 47-7.
yeah, that is
Whoa.
I yeah. It shouldn't happen. Shouldn't happen to
Dang.
I mean a 9-1 team that was I think weren't they ranked last year? They were ranked. They were
Coastal
like
Carolina is still ranked right now. They
yeah,
were 23rd.
that's
James Madison was at one point, they squeaked into the top 25, but they lost a couple games and they got knocked out of it. But yeah, that's not what you want if you're Coastal Carolina going into
that's
bowl eligible.
bad.
So bad.
That's
Yeah,
descending now.
yeah, it's terrible. Let's talk about a game that started out close. It was Georgia Tech, Georgia. Final score was not close, 37-14. But yeah, did you get a chance to watch this game? Because I did not. But
I watched a little bit of it while I was, flipping through the commercials for the Clemson game. Georgia Tech actually had a very well put together first drive. I mean, they seemed composed, but I mean, you can't really bet against Georgia. Georgia's gonna, their games kind of, come out there, see what happens, and then once you hit their defense, they're impossible to get through.
I mean, the thing is, it's like Georgia Tech, you have no idea what they're going to do because they have an interim head coach. They have third and fourth string quarterback. Like this kid got picked up off the sidewalk for campus right before the UNC game. Like it was embarrassing to lose to him for sure. But like you don't know what they're going to do. You have no idea.
Yeah.
They didn't for the UNC game at least. I don't know if he was healthy for the Georgia game, they did not have their starting wide receiver. Their best wide receiver out. Their two best quarterbacks are out. Like it's Georgia Tech. This interim head coach needs to be hired because he's done great this season.
He has done a great job. Yeah, it's like Georgia Tech's kind of a flavor of the week kind of team. You can't really prepare for them because what's happened to their program over the past, couple weeks has been so what would be like detrimental to a program. And so they have to, adapt to it and try to overcome it each week. But they're more of a flavor of the week kind of team, not consistent.
I'd say that for sure. And then the Iron Bowl, which was not close. Alabama, Auburn. Alabama pulled away 49-27 was the final score. Alabama won. Yeah, not really good stuff. I didn't get to watch this game, but it was pretty wild. Most of these games I didn't get to watch, but it's yeah. I don't even know what to say at this point. I mean, you'd expect a game like that. It's like you'd think it's like every single game. It doesn't matter. Every single year, it doesn't matter how bad the other team is. It doesn't matter how good Alabama is. No matter how bad Auburn is, it's usually a close game. Last year, I went to 4 overtimes.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. It's Auburn plays it like their championship game.
They really do.
Is really good for Auburn. Yeah, I feel like it's a good thing that Auburn consistently can show up. I mean, no matter the season they're having. I mean, the exceptions this year, but
Oregon State beat Oregon 38-20 or no 38-34. Okay, so it was a close game. Oh yeah, that ends Oregon's playoff hopes, which is pretty cool. I don't really care. And yeah, I don't have an opinion on Oregon, but like
it's just that's a shocking loss. Bo Nix. I mean, I genuinely I like him. He's a good quarterback, but it's kind of like something that like 2 years ago, Oregon State beating Oregon was just unheard of. It was an unheard of thing.
Utah, Colorado. There's 2 minutes left to go in that game currently. Utah has won that game. It is 63-21 at the moment. And then Iowa State, TCU. That game is also over, but it's not technically. Minute 18 left. TCU's up 62-14. We're all pulling for Iowa State in that one, but no. Yeah.
Yeah, I just now that my team can't make the playoffs, I hope for absolute chaos.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly. I mean, my team was in the chaos, so I mean, you can't really.
Yeah.
But yeah,
yeah, I mean it is.
Is it just me, or do they have last year Cincinnati vibes? Like they're gonna get blown out by whoever the heck they play.
Like a fake playoff team is what they're like.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at their strength of schedule, I mean, to be honest, they have a very hard strength of schedule, but it's hard, hearing a team like, oh yeah, TCU is going to play Georgia, like that something there just doesn't register,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, so let's go to the Michigan State Penn State game. That's going on right now. It's over. It's about to be over. It's 42 seconds left to go in the game. 27 now. Penn State has won that game. It's 35-16. Penn State has the ball. And with this game just started, LSU, Texas A&M. If LSU were to lose this game, which they're currently losing 7-0, if they were to lose this game, that would be the end of the playoff hopes, and I think the playoffs would be set if they were to lose this game. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be very hard for another team to. Well, okay, but if Ohio State falls out of,
do you
think they'll fall out of the top?
I think they would.
Yeah, I think they will too.
After TCU demolishing their opponent, yeah, they would. But I don't know who else would go up. I don't know who would. Oh, USC would be the one to replace.
Yeah,
that
would be
third.
That would be great. I heard a stat that USC has actually never made a
football playoff.
I don't know if that's true or not, but
probably is. I've never seen him in the playoff.
Not me either.
Yeah. So let's go before we're almost done with college football. I got 3 or 4 more games left. Let's talk about the UCF South Florida game that's happening now. UCF is winning with about 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Yeah, that game's not going to be over for a long time. I don't really care about that game. UCF probably is going to win that game. And then Tennessee Vanderbilt starts any minute now. I'm expecting Tennessee to win that game, but Vanderbilt is on a 2-game winning streak, which is not something you hear every day. Also about to start is the Notre Dame USC game. I'm genuinely curious here. If Notre Dame were to go to they were in the ACC, would they be a playoff champ? If they were in the ACC, they'd be in the ACC championship game playing Clemson, and they would probably because if they beat Clemson again, they would definitely be a top 5 team. But they're 13th right now. If they had an extra game, they could sneak into the playoffs, but they can't because if they were to beat USC and if they had a conference championship game and they won it, that's playoffs.
Yeah.
But they can't because they don't have they're not. That's true. They're not in a conference. It's stupid. They should be in a conference. Dumb. I don't know why they kind of
wish they would. I wish they would join like the ACC or I really wish they would join the SEC. Kind of like humble them. They think they're all this until they play some.
Oh, I disagree. I think they're really good. They're good. I mean, they blew Clemson. I mean, Clemson isn't like the greatest team ever, but they blew them out. Yeah. Like it's
they still have lots of stuff, like Marshall, which
they lost to Marshall, but they beat UNC and it was there. This season's been weird. The number 13 nation lost to Marshall. Tell me where Marshall is on a map, and good luck with that.
Yeah,
I have no idea. Marshall looked like the Paw Patrol's character? Like, I don't know. I don't even know.
Like one, yeah.
It's only Marshall I know. Kansas State. That game, if Kansas State loses, Texas goes to the Big Ten Championship, which does not matter. Unless whoever beats TCU, that's all I care about. Because they're going to play TCU. Whoever wins that game would be awesome. I don't really know about that game. That starts at 8 p.m. tonight. And then the West Coast game is what I was call this because nobody on the East Coast is staying up for that crap. It's Washington versus Washington State. It starts at 10:30 p.m. I'm not staying up for that game. I don't know. Not going to happen. Yeah, Washington, if they win that game, it don't matter. Washington's number 12 in the nation, but it doesn't matter because they're not going to make playoffs no matter what. But yeah. So that's college football this week. Before we move on to the NFL, what's going on with my computer? Okay. Let me briefly talk about Heisman stuff along with a couple other things. So the Heisman campaign has really ended. Before the Ohio State game, Michigan game, I would consider what's his name? Williams or Stroud. Corum's hurt.
CJ Stroud, yes.
Corum's hurt.
Yep, he's gone. Stroud.
Everybody else crap the bed when it comes to the voting because Drake May sucks. A couple other things. Yeah, I love Drake May, but you got to do better. It's Williams. Williams has won the Heisman in my eyes. I don't see. Again, it's voted on by fans. So, for all you know, Dae Uiagalelei could win it. Like it's like you don't know. He would not, but imagine. Or maybe it might hold up now. If it's voted on by fans, how much of a percent chance do you think Spencer Rattler has?
Maybe a little bit if it's voted on by fans, but Spencer Rattler he's too inconsistent to be a legit contender.
It's a reward for the most consistent guy. And
yes,
that's definitely been Williams. He has 19 touchdowns and 2 interceptions in his last couple of games.
Yeah, that's
why he's winning it. Williams is winning it. Unless he craps the bet against Notre Dame, in which case give the award to whoever the heck wins the national championship.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of like a coin flip.
Give it to the head coach of Georgia. Like it just I don't know anymore. We also talk about the ACC refs need to be fixed. I mentioned this in a TikTok that I posted. If you don't follow me there, follow me. It's the same as the podcast name. Yeah. There was a play against NC State.
Yeah.
The UNC game. Did you watch that game at all? I don't know if you did, but it was embarrassing. It was just sad to watch so Antoine Green, he's our second string wide receiver, borderline first. so what happened was it hit the ground, the ball hit the ground and it bounced up into his hands. He was diving for the ball, it bounced up into his hands. And the referee called it a catch on the field. He was the distance between he was less than 2 yards away from him, and he called it a completion. That's an embarrassment to the ACC.
That's embarrassing. Yeah,
awful, and it was all game. You watching the game with you got to put on his glasses so he can see that worse. That's what they're doing. They're right there, and they don't see it.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Yeah.
The ACC refs have had I would say rough season. I mean, you can't please everybody, but even sometimes I look at calls that they make and I'm questioning, why that call's made.
And I'm not blaming the refs for us losing that game. I'm not.
Yeah.
On the last drive of the game, we had 14 seconds left, and the clock is ticking, and the ref is standing between Drake May and the football.
Yep.
He can't snap the ball because the moron is standing in between the play. Oh, I was so heated. But yeah. Anyways, let's Matt Rule hired by Nebraska. That's shocking. Well, I don't know if he's shocking. I didn't watch him at Baylor. I was not really a huge football fan at the time. Yep. But yeah, he was hired by Nebraska. He was terrible in the NFL. I don't know how good he was how good he is in college, but hopefully he does decent for Nebraska's program's sake.
He's known for rebuilding programs. He rebuilds them. It takes him a couple of years. He rebuilds them like he did at Temple, like he did at Baylor. He rebuilds the program, and he kind of leaves and does it with another program. He tried to go to the NFL, but it's just a whole different game in the NFL than it is in college football.
You can tell that with Urban Meyer and Matt Rule both.
Yep.
Even guys like Nick Saban couldn't go to the NFL. NFL level would be good.
Yeah.
And let's talk about the GOAT, Drake May, not acting like the GOAT recently. Love him, but man, it's ever since the color of his horse for the Heisman vote changed. He went from dark horse to horse. He no longer is acting like the horse. He's now the 6 feet under horse. It was good until the Georgia Tech game. The Georgia Tech game, he felt like crap. The NC State game, he showed up in the clutch and won it. The Georgia Tech game, he also showed up in the clutch and won it. Just Josh Downs dropped the freaking ball in the end zone. That was fun to watch. No, it was not. Before we go into the NFL game predictions, let's talk about Jeff Saturday. Okay, former Tar Heel O-lineman, was not alive for whatever he played, but I am now obligated to cheer for the Colts. And what I'm asking myself is, why isn't this guy being talked about as I understand he barely beat Josh McDaniels, but it's like they have the same amount of qualifications. They don't have any, and they still both are it's insane.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's like, oh, he's a terrible coach. No, he's not. He almost beat the Eagles.
That's true. That's true. What, 1 point game or something crazy like that?
What do you say?
Those are very close.
It was a close game.
1 point
last minute. Yeah, it was a 1 point game. And it's like, when are we gonna stop talking about teams are frauds, they can't even beat Jeff Saturday, into Jeff Saturday being like, holy crap, Jeff Saturday almost beat Andy Reid. That needs to be something. He was not the coach whenever they beat Andy Reid, but it's like that's got to be considered at some point. This guy is barely squeaking out losses against decent teams, and he beat a bad team. But it's like, dude, he's not a bad coach, man. He's confident in himself, which is exactly what you need. You don't want Urban Meyer out there who's like, I have no clue what I'm doing out here, guys. You don't want that. You want a guy who's confident. He is confident in himself. I've listened to that first press conference 100 times. Because I listen to it. It makes me want to run through a wall for the guy, which is normal for UNC coaches. And it's wild to me that this guy is not being considered that he's not being considered a decent coach. He reminded me a lot of Dan Campbell, because whenever Dan Campbell first got hired, everybody's sitting there going, "Why on earth did you hire this guy?" And what did he do?
Yeah, that's right.
He said, "We're gonna bite a kneecap off." And he's a meme for the rest of eternity for saying that. But it freaking worked. This team has now won 3 straight-ish. I don't know, 2 straight, 3 straight, and then they lost to Buffalo, but it was close. Like, to keep it close with Buffalo, that is an accomplishment. It's like,
Yeah,
just
that is good.
same way. They're keeping it close every week. Yeah, I love it, man. It's awesome. I think Jeff Saturday
Yeah,
will have a coaching job in the future, if it's college or NFL. Now, here's what I'm hoping for as a UNC fan is sorry if you hear my brother having temper tantrum in the background, but so essentially it's what's happening is you're having like let's hypothetically, okay, Matt Brown, he's the UNC's current head coach. He's going to retire within the next 5 to 10 years. That's expected. Dude's like almost 80 years old. Jeff Saturday gets fired by the Colts because he probably didn't finish the season that great. People are stupid. And he gets fired by the Colts. Bubba Cunningham, UNC's athletic director, is thanking the Lord above and is like, Jeff Saturday, please come over here. Come this way.
I'd be good for
all the money. Please come this way. And if it happens, it would be awesome. I would love to have Jeff Saturday as our head coach one day. Of course, I want Matt Brown to stay until he dies. Like, Matt Brown is going to be here forever, I hope. But it's not going to happen like that.
Yeah, but I think Jeff Saturday gets a lot of hate because of just kind of there were like it was kind of like
it was the dumbest hire ever. It was
I mean yeah, they should have. There was other people that were probably way more qualified and were probably way better for the job than he was, but I think the Colts were just kind of looking for, like a quick answer, and they wanted it right then, right now, so they could start focusing on, their other problems. So I think they just hired him.
They've had so much money in free agency the last couple of years, and they haven't spent any of it.
I know.
It mind-boggling. What are you doing, dude? You could go out there and sign Odell right now. If you would,
yeah, I know.
Around him, like, what on earth are you doing? Yeah, but like,
yeah, they don't have a team right now. It's not much of a team right now.
It's not. You're correct. So, yeah. We're gonna. So let's talk briefly. Let me pull up the games for this Sunday. The Thanksgiving game. Let's talk about those real quick. Did you get the chance to watch the Thanksgiving game?
Yeah, I watched the Dallas Giants game. I actually had Saquon Barkley on my fantasy football team, who kind of lost it for the Giants on a 4th down and dropped it.
I didn't play it this week. I played you last week, and it was no fun.
Yeah, crushed you.
Yeah, it was no fun. I don't know why I traded Travis Kelce. I'm a moron. But yeah. So let's talk about the Bills-Lions game first. Pretty wild game. The Josh Allen hugging meme became a thing. That was possibly the greatest thing ever. The captions were genius. Mine was when you finally sit down for Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, good one.
Which is true. And then so yeah, I mean, that game was wild. I didn't get a chance to watch it because I had things to do around the kitchen, house, all that stuff. And then the Cowboys-Giants game, I caught the end of that game. But yeah, Giants.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb was made some just unreal catches that game. I mean, one-handers, and it was really impressive to watch him play that.
It's not a secret.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
that's right. It's not a secret.
Yeah. So then let's go. CeeDee Lamb single-handedly won that game for the Cowboys. Not single-handedly, but it was pretty dang single-handedly. I played
pretty much him.
I played Pollard in fantasy this week. Thankfully, he did not go off this week like he has all the other weeks. The Vikings-Patriots. It only took what's his name? Kirk Cousins cloned into Mac Jones for a good Kirk Cousins to show up. So good job there, Kirk. You won and gave Justin all the pass they needed.
It's a little they called it an incomplete pass on a touchdown right at the line, and they lost it because of it.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I thought when I first saw it, I was like, "That's an incompletion." No, it's not. You saw the gloves were inside the grass.
Oh yeah, no, obviously
under it. Yeah, but it was just it was. They finally went. The rest went against the Patriots. It's
Yeah, no, it's a great day when that happens.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Yeah.
Weird stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So Vikings win that one. Let's briefly talk about the Texans versus Dolphins, which is tomorrow. Don't care. Dolphins are going to win by 50. Do you have anything else to say about that game?
Yeah, you're right. I think the Dolphins are gonna kill the Texans, and the Texans have really nothing to show for except for Derek Stingley, who has really been
Forgot
like
about him.
shining light in that defense. Allowed 0 touchdowns this year. I mean, he's top in the league in
Gardner if the Jets were bad.
yeah.
Which the Jets are bad, but not nearly as bad as the Texans.
Texans are just brutal. Yeah,
Let's
terrible.
talk
Terrible.
about the game where it's going to be injured elbows from handoffs. The quarterback's gonna be like, ow, ow, ow. Yeah, Bengals Titans. If you didn't get my joke, Bengals Titans. Derrick Henry and Joe Mixon is going to run for 700 yards combined in that game.
I agree. No team with Jamar Chase is tending trending towards not playing this week. T. Higgs can kind of carry the offense, but I mean Joe Mixon's he's
Joe
the
Mixon's
star.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't. Yeah. And then Tank Bowl incoming. Broncos Panthers. Tank Bowl.
Oh,
Except one team does not have a first round pick.
Oh, yeah, that's
Broncos.
it's going to be a rough couple years for both of those teams. I think when the Broncos traded for Russell Wilson, on paper it looked like the best trade ever, but looking at it now, seeing that Russell Wilson is he's kind of done. He's out of his prime. He's not as good as he used to be. I think they have to really soon now start looking for another quarterback.
Now here's what I'm thinking is, I mean, like I'm being 100% serious here. Was Russell Wilson ever good, or was Pete Carroll just great?
I don't know. It's kind of kind of like the DJ Uungule or however his last name situation. Yeah, whatever. But he was, all these other quarterbacks that he's played with were surrounded by just great weapons like DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, who are arguably will go down as some of the best receivers to ever catch for the Seahawks. So I mean, and he comes to a team.
Imagine that team with Kenneth Walker. Imagine Russell Wilson with Kenneth Walker, dude.
Yeah, that would be. I feel like he would thrive much more than he would be now because KJ Hamilton and Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton, they're kind of like the basic receiver. None of them are going to do anything special.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like I thought that all they needed was a quarterback.
Yeah,
they also need better trainers to not get their running backs hurt. Freaking Javonte Williams ruined my fantasy season. But I also love Javonte as a person. Hope he gets better. Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad because I mean the AFC West is a walkthrough now. I'm a Chiefs fan, so I'll take it all day long. But I mean, bruh, it's sad.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah, watching them play.
So Bears Jets is the next game. That's also at 1 p.m. That's a game where you're like, which Bears team is going to show up? Which Jets team is going to show up? Is the Jets team allowed to hold every single wide receiver ever going to show up? Because Sauce Gardner is allowed to hold on every single play. If you didn't notice that, watch Broncos highlights. And also the Bears, Justin Fields is freaking amazing. So it's like,
I don't think he's playing tomorrow. I think
he's not. That's right. He isn't playing tomorrow. I forgot. Oh yeah, Jets are going to win that game.
Or his shoulder or something crazy like that.
Jets are going to win that game. Cool.
Yeah.
Falcons, Commanders. Don't care. Falcons. I'm going Falcons. Actually, no, I don't know, because what's his name? Taylor Heineke is amazing. So I mean,
yep, Taylor Heineke's very good. I like him a lot. He knows his role on the team, and he's willing to play. Whenever his number's called, and he's done really good the past couple of weeks.
I like the guy, but I also like their third stringer, Sam Howell, former Tar Heel. I hope he gets a chance this year. if they lose enough
that's
games,
good to see.
they're going to get a chance. And I hope Sam Howell can go in there and show that his preseason was not a fluke. His preseason, he was the leading passing yards, and he was leading pass yards this preseason.
Yeah.
And that's because he was the only one who played all 4 games. So no duh, he's going to be in the conversation. No duh.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Put him in the game, see what he can do. Give him
a shot.
let the Dyami Brown, Sam Howell college thing happen. Like it happened in college, see it happen in the NFL. Man, I will cry if that happens. But yeah, I'm gonna say Commanders here, but I'm not confident. Not at all.
Yeah, me too. I think you're right.
Then let's go right. Buccaneers Browns. That's wow.
Yeah, I also think that Deshaun Watson comes back next week
against the Texans. That's not
I think that the Browns are not strong enough to hold Tom Brady. I mean, they kind of have had a meltdown on their defense this year, and Tom Brady has really shown, he's had his struggles, but you just can't really go against Tom Brady. He's the best, and he'll always be.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm gonna go Bucs.
I'm gonna go Bucs too.
Bucs, yeah.
And then Jaguars Ravens is the next game on the schedule. I'm gonna go Ravens. I don't think that's a debate. I mean the Jaguars.
Yeah, I'd probably go Ravens too.
They're not good enough to hang with the Ravens.
Good. Yeah, they're okay. They've got Trevor Lawrence, good quarterback. They've got Travis Etienne, good running back. But I mean, just the Jaguars are here. The Ravens are here.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Let's go to the game that everybody thought at the beginning of the season would be Raiders by 50. It's Raiders Seahawks. Seahawks are going to win by 50. In my eyes, it's not by 50, but it's going to be a close game. I think Seahawks sneak away with the win here.
I think Seahawks will probably, yes, I think they'll win tomorrow just because really the Raiders' only offense is Devontae Adams. That's all they have. Hunter Renfro's hurt. Josh Jacobs is the most inconsistent player that you could ask for in a running back. And, Devontae Adams has kind of been the bright spot in a dark offense.
Yeah, I agree with you there. So, yeah, I'm going to go Seahawks on that one. And then Chargers Cardinals. The battle of the mid. I'm gonna go Chargers here, but I'm not confident. Again, I think how bad was the injuries that the Chargers suffered during the Chiefs game? Because that game was like sad. It was like Chargers get all their good receivers back. Never mind. Like it's just like
no Mike Williams. I don't think Mike Williams is playing.
He got hurt.
Yeah, I probably agree with you on the Chargers. I mean,
Justin Herbert, give him the ball. Let him do what he does best.
Yeah, I feel like Justin Herbert's better than. Yeah.
And then we're gonna the Saints 49ers game. I really would debate. I really doubt that the Saints are gonna even keep it close here. The 49ers are finally figuring out a way to not keep it boring. They've got to figure. I mean, is Debo back yet? I don't know if he's back yet. Is he?
I think he is back. He was back last week. He had a really big impact. He's playing this week, and that offense with Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, that's a recipe for success. I feel
Brandon Ayuk is doing what
doing
what Deebo did last year, but not getting any of the respect for it. Like
that's right. Yeah.
He's not doing nearly as good as Deebo, but he's definitely doing what Deebo did last year, and he's doing great at it. I know it because I have him in fantasy. It's awesome.
Yeah, he's very underrated.
But it's
yep.
It's wild to me. It's like, what on earth are they doing? It's like they have Kyle Juszczyk. They've got Christian McCaffrey. They traded Jeff Wilson for some stupid reason. But like, if they had kept Jeff Wilson, imagine like Christian McCaffrey's lined up wide, backfield, play action to Wilson. McCaffrey's wide open. Like I mean, there's so many things they could do with that offense with
Mind-blowing.
a head coach who isn't going run, run, run. Yeah. But I definitely think the 49ers are going to win this
Right.
game.
I agree.
Yeah. So we're going to
Yeah,
go.
I think they're going to win too.
This is a game that at the beginning of the season, we thought this would be the game of the year. The last time this happened, it was the game of the year. Rams Chiefs. Yeah, Chiefs are going to be. Last time they played, it was like a 50-53 game. Rams this season.
Yep.
I think the Chiefs come out and they win this game and like control their own destiny from here on out. Control the AFC.
I don't think the Rams have figured it out this season. I wouldn't be surprised if they, completely miss the playoffs. They haven't figured it out. So, I think the Chiefs will go out there.
It sucks. It's just like the
I
Broncos.
think they'll just.
They
you're right. Yeah, it is just like the Broncos. I agree.
No first round picks. 0. It's sad. Same with the Saints.
None.
First round picks. It's crazy because like all these teams are like they want to tank, but they can't. It's sad.
Yeah,
We're
I
going to
know.
talk about the Sunday night football game,
Yes, I
which
know.
is going to be a blowout. Packers Eagles. Eagles.
Eagles. Yeah, there's nothing to say on that. Eagles are just gonna. Eagles have shown their dominance in everything that they've done this year.
Yeah, 100%.
Except for Washington.
Yeah, Washington was a fluke. And then the last game, Colts versus Steelers. Jeff Saturday, the GOAT. Yeah, I'm gonna go Colts.
I'll go Colts as well. I hope Jeff Saturday succeeds. I just want him to prove all the people wrong that that he's a good coach.
Yeah, so that is the NFL week. What is it? 13, 12? I have no idea. Week something. NFL season. So yeah, one thing that you put on here, Owen, while I could not do much I did most of the outline, but you did a couple of things on there, was should the NFL consider positions other than QB for MVP? The answer is yes. I think
I know.
In the past, like you've had guys like TJ Watt, JJ Watt, defensive player of the years who were way more impactful than whoever that year. Derrick Henry, who else? Jonathan Taylor, like
a handful of players.
And Tyreek Hill might win it this year. Like it's wild to me. And like I think it's this year though. This year
they should.
Non-quarterbacks. Who's your MVP?
Probably I would say Justin Jefferson. He has played.
Oh, I didn't think about him.
I
did not think about him.
There's no guard. Justin Jefferson probably be the one
I'm gonna go with my top 3 because I think they're all really good options. 3 is Jefferson, 2 is Hill.
Yep.
1 is Kelsey.
Oh, Kelsey, I forgot about him. He should win it, but he won't win it because
he won't win it because he's got Patrick Mahomes on his team. Patrick Mahomes is gonna win.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're just gonna give all the credit to Mahomes.
Yeah, but the credit probably should go to Mahomes. Look at the wide receiver core he's got. He's finding ways to get it to Kelsey. He's finding ways to get it to whoever the heck. It's like against the Chargers last week. Kelsey was the only wide receiver who I knew their name, other than I think Hardman. No, Hardman wasn't even playing yet. I did not know a single wide receiver in the Sunday Night Football matchup, and I was like, oh yeah, Kelsey, wide open, duh. Like it's mind-boggling to me. It's like he's the only wide receiver who you have circled on the depth chart, and
that's right. Yeah,
tight end. Jared McKinnon also played pretty solid, but it's like not Jared McKinnon. Isaiah Pacheco, he played pretty solid, and that's wild to me. It's like, what are y'all doing? And it's like it's like I don't know what the heck Chargers were doing there, but
We're going through some stuff right now.
Yeah. So that's my things for like the NFL MVP race in my eyes. We're gonna close with college basketball. I don't really pay attention to college basketball that much unless it's wearing Carolina blue. It's this Iowa State matchup, bro. I cannot tell you how mad I was because the games in real time, it was NC State game ended, and like a minute later, basketball game ended. However, I decided my family decided we're gonna record the Iowa State basketball game and watch the NC State game first. So that game ends in heartbreaking fashion, blah, 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 blah. We all didn't really care because it was football. Football season's over. And so when we're going to this game, we're like, okay, we all care about this. Number one team of the nation. Let's go kill Iowa State, hopefully, because we barely beat Portland and we know they're mad. Let's go show them who's boss. No, we lost to them by 5 points. It was embarrassing. Caleb Grill, not Caleb Love, had like 40 freaking points. And it was so aggravating to me that they made every single shot. Portland did the same thing. Portland the other night made every single shot they shot. Iowa State was definitely not at the same level. The whole game just kind of felt weird. It was like, what's going on? That's been the whole story of the season. It's like, why don't we have 150 points?
Yeah, that's right.
I can't tell you the answer because Armando Bacot, Armando Bacot the last couple of days has been playing great, but before that he wasn't doing great. Caleb Love's doing solid. RJ Davis is doing good. Seth Trimble was doing okay until the PKI tournament.
Yeah,
it's I don't know what he's planning on doing for the whole depth chart, but he refuses to go over 10 players for a depth chart. He refuses.
I don't know why.
I don't know either. It's like you've got Tyler Nickel, who's not good, but he knows what to do with the ball in his hands. Puff Johnson, who is the 6th man. Seth Trimble, who's the 7th man. You've got Dontrez Styles, who, in my opinion, is the 8th man, 9th man, that guy around there. It's like DeMarco Dunn. It's like it's weird because it's either Justin McCoy will occasionally get in the game. But it's like Justin McCoy's gotten maybe 10 minutes total all season, if that. And it's like Justin McCoy is not good. He's not good. I don't know why he's getting minutes. But it's like you've got I don't know anymore. It's like you need to play more. I trust Hubert Davis so much, but it's like you're gonna kill Caleb Love. He goes so slow.
Yeah,
he's not a fast tempo guy. Seth Trimble is perfect as a guy who can go in there, plug him in for 10 plays. He'll be dead tired by the end of it, and then you put in whoever, whether it's Dunn or Styles or whoever. Just plug them in and play them. It does not matter.
Yeah, I agree. I think UNC basketball, I mean, obviously they're gonna make the tournament, and every team is gonna have that one loss that you just kind of look at it and you're gonna question, like, okay, how did this team?
We're gonna have a lot this year. We're gonna have a lot this year. We were easily the most. We were probably one of the worst number 1 teams I've ever seen. It's because Gonzaga, they're a great regular season team, but they're an awful playoff team. North Carolina's the opposite. We're a terrible regular season team. We always do good, but against good opponents, we always struggle.
I agree.
Like going in, I don't know if you remember this last January, up until that Duke win, up until we won at Cameron against Duke, we were not expected to go to the tournament because we had just lost to Pittsburgh.
Oh, I remember that. I watched that game. Yes, I remember.
It doesn't matter until the last 4 games of the season. It doesn't matter at all.
That's right. Yeah, you're right.
It's like
it does not matter.
It does not matter until February 28th. That is when it begins.
Until the tournament comes.
I guess conference play is going to matter, but it's.
Yeah. It's I still think, there's really no team that, and Caleb Love, Armando Bacot, and all the other guys, they have the experience of, they started off as pretty much, what would be in football or basketball considered as nothing. And they have been through, basically they've been to, hell and back to, to be on this good team. So I think that they're going to do great.
We went from one of the greatest coaches of all time to a guy who's unproven. And the guy who's unproven did better than what Roy Williams did the last couple of years. Last couple of years of Roy Williams basketball was not good. I mean, the last good season was the year that we lost to Auburn with Caleb Love with Kobe White. That was the last good season. That was 2019
season.
And then we had 2018, which was decent, and 2017, which was championship team, 2016, which was borderline championship team. We lost in the championship game to a game-winning shot. It's It's just mind-blowing to me that like this team. I'm glad that we lost because I'm never gonna pull for a loss, but it's like we play better whenever we're the underdog. We do, and it's
that's right. You do. It's
because it's like I don't know what made us play so we play so tense. We're like we can't mess up, we can't do anything wrong, which makes us play bad because we're like, oh crap, we did this wrong, and we're all in our head for 20 minutes. It's like just stop playing stupid, like please, like do something smart.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know.
Seth Trimble made some boneheaded plays last night, and it was just like, what is he doing? Like, yeah. So hopefully, with the no longer having the pressure of being a freshman on the best team of the nation, will help a little bit. Now Gonzaga is going to go and become the best team, whatever, and I don't care. So yeah, it's. I mean, it's yeah. Again, Theo Penton. He was on the 2017 national championship team. He said it best. He said, UConn with Kemba Walker was not the best team that season, but they were the best.
Yeah.
But they had the most momentum going into March. They had the best momentum. It's momentum is all that matters in college basketball. I mean, we went into the March Madness with momentum. We had beaten Duke. We had beaten Virginia by 50. It's awesome to go on with momentum. And then we go and destroy Marquette, which gives us the confidence to go and beat Baylor.
Baylor, right?
Baylor was a crazy game. We were on the road watching it. We were on our way to a wedding. And then another game, it was the UCLA in Sweet 16. Then it was St. Peter's, which was a blowout. Then it was the greatest game of all time, Duke and UNC. And then it was the Kansas game, which was the weirdest game I've ever watched in my life, which we ended up losing. And I hate that. And I really wish we won that game because I wanted Brady Manick to have a ring. But yeah.
I wish you guys won that game. So yeah, Brady Manick, I forgot about him.
Yeah, I mean it's just so gut wrenching to lose like that. I mean, and this whole team knows that. This whole team.
Oh yeah.
Most of the freshmen who were on this team were in that room, watching that game.
Yeah.
Remember that feeling. I remember watching this team, and they all want it so badly. We better go out there and show that we can do this again, which we can.
Yeah, you could. I definitely think that
happens. But yeah, some other. Do you follow any of the other matchups? We probably should just we said college football, or basketball, not UNC basketball. So did you watch any other games?
I occasionally watch Illinois. I'm an Illinois fan. I like watching them, but college basketball doesn't really become big. It like right now, time is kind of like dominated by college football because we live in the South, and the South they love college football and live and breathe college football. So I mean, around February and January, February, that's when college basketball will start becoming huge again because here we go, the whole entire world's getting ready.
The whole entire world's watching it. It's conference play. Everything matters. Yeah. That's what I'm excited for. That it starts soon, and I'm really ready for that to happen. But yeah, so I'm really excited to watch this team play some football or basketball. I am lost. My mind is dead. I did not get any sleep the last 2 nights. Yeah, but like it's wild to me that everybody's overreacting about UNC sucks. It's like it is November.
Yeah. Like you can't really judge
Roy Williams loved losing in November. He loved it because he knew everybody would stop talking about us, and he wanted that. He wanted UNC to be the most underrated team ever because, like the year we played, I think it was Illinois in the national championship in 2005. We won that game, but everybody was munching on Illinois. Like, oh yeah, Illinois is so great. They're going to destroy them. And then Sean May said, "I want all the rebounds," and he got all of them in that game. It's wild to me that like everybody overreacts so fast. Like even UNC fans, if one UNC game goes wrong, everybody's like, "Oh, Caleb Love needs to go on the bench." No, he does not, because he has the confidence to shoot. Even when he goes 1 for 15, he has the confidence to shoot that 16th, 17th, 18th shot, which at the end of the day might be the game that, which might be the day that he retires Coach Max Krzyzewski.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
So I
don't
will let
care
Caleb
about
Love shoot his shot every single chance he gets. But yeah, so we're gonna wrap it up here before we.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, Owen, it was great talking to you, man. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, peace out.
All right, yeah, I'll see you.